What's up, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta. What's up?
Ooh, that new intro bumper. Ooh.
Oh, what about that?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I just did it one day. Like, we need a new intro because
Why is it called a bumper?
because it's like bumpers of a car.
Oh, why? Because you do it in the
Beginning,
front
and
and the end?
Yeah,
It's kind of dumb.
bumpers.
Bookends.
That sounds dumb.
Just as dumb as bumpers. Kinda.
Anyways, but yeah. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown.
No, I just never heard that term before. So.
Really?
No.
Being married to me, you never heard that term before? All
I
the
mean,
shows
probably,
that we've been doing.
but...
Opening bumper, end bumper, and credits. Anyways,
Nope.
so
What about you guys? Never heard of it.
anyways, we have the major thing to go over this episode is Shcmoedown Awards was this past Friday night?
Yes. The
Yes.
15th.
15th.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good times.
Real good time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of awards.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also, I know that there was like one announcement about a change to an award next year
Oh yeah, we'll get
that we can talk about when we get there.
There was also I think we mentioned it before because like patrons are now getting there's gonna be 3 live like pay-per-views a month now.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know how
Wild.
that's. I don't know how the logistics of that's gonna go, but like I remember you looked up the names. Obviously, there's the Throwdown, the
Battlefield and Versus,
Versus.
if I'm not mistaken.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds
Really
pretty
like those
sick.
names. Really like
Nice.
those names.
Good job, team.
Get on that Patreon if you don't want to keep paying for all these pay-per-views, then you just get them automatically if you're the $10
man.
tier.
I mean, I feel like last year it was like, oh, wow, what a great time to be a patron. And then now they just keep on adding stuff. So it's like, man, if you can swing it.
Yeah, and I think they're going to keep
Do it.
adding to the Patreon at different perk levels and stuff like that. So get on it if you haven't yet.
Get on it. if you wanna.
Patreon.com/Schmoedown, not the Schmoedown.
I think it's
Just
Schmoedown.
Yeah, Patreon.com/Schmoedown.
I think.
The $10 tiers, I think, where you get the most bang for your buck.
I'm sure if you go to the Schmoedown website, the Patreon information's there.
Yeah.
So, in case we're messing it up here.
Schmoedownlive.com.
Articles and whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the awards.
Yes.
Just because last time we talked about the awards, it was about the nominees and who I was voting for during those times. I mean, you basically had a vote too.
Basically,
Yeah.
kind of.
Sort
I mean,
of.
we don't have like 2 separate patron accounts. Why would we?
Well, no, because I get one as a competitor, and then we had the Patreon link. But I don't think you actually went in and voted.
What?
Yeah,
We could have voted twice?
pretty sure. But I only voted once because I only went to the competitor.
Oh, man. If I would have known that, I would have done it. I didn't know I could do that.
I don't know how much.
I didn't want to make it fraudulent or something, so that's why I didn't even press it.
I don't know.
Oh, man. I could have swung it. Man. I really could have shaken things
It's
up.
not like you could have voted for us. Whoops.
Wait, why not? Is it because we weren't nominated?
We weren't nominated.
Oh.
We'll
Thanks
get to
for
that.
joining us. Welcome to Beyond the Schmoedown. So, I don't, it was a long show,
It was.
and I have a list of, I don't know, I'm assuming this is the order that they went in.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long show, and there's a lot of things that could be confused, but in any case.
Do you want to go one by one, or just want to rattle them off and then give our thoughts and stuff? I think we'll go one by one. That's the easiest and most.
Yeah.
So we don't forget anybody.
I mean, we're not going to talk about each one for 5 million hours.
Hopefully not.
Maybe. All right. So the first one that we probably could talk about for a long time is Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Comeback Player of the Year. Okay. So full disclosure here. I just have a list of the winners. Thanks to a Reddit thread. And I don't have the list of
Nominees.
the other nominees.
But yeah, I don't think we went over them last
They're
year.
on the internet somewhere. Yeah. Refer back to the last video.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, one thing that you brought up that I was like, yeah, that's a really good point, is that I'm really surprised that Eric Zipper was not nominated for Comeback Player of the Year.
So
in any case,
go ahead. And,
Comeback Player of the Year winner was Andres Ace Cabrera.
I mean, we gave our thoughts on this last episode where
Yes.
it's like, I don't think he should have been nominated for this category. And Christian gave his thoughts about it, and he's coming. He hadn't played in a while. He hadn't won at all in anything that he competed in until he got into the Star Wars division.
Right.
And it's like, and I think we were in the mindset, it's like, he's not really coming back from anything in that division.
It doesn't make sense
to me. He debuted in that division. And I think Christian's argument was like, oh, yeah, no, he lost in teams whenever he competed in 2015, competed in IG and got smashed by Robert Parker, and then came back and competed in the Star Wars division and blew, he went all the way to the final and won the tournament. And it's like, yeah, but I think we're just like, it doesn't make sense to me that, one, he was nominated for this category. And I think next season, this category needs to be like, this is the criteria for it.
I agree.
And I think what you should do for this category is based off your performance last season, not 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Yeah, because if you get like rolled a couple seasons ago, you could always use that as an argument for comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
If you have a good season this year, and if you got slaughtered way back when, you could be like, well, remember back then when they got rolled in that one teams match? Comeback player. Wow, they really came back hard.
And by this definition, now people have the formula for a comeback player of the year. Start your season off in a division that you know you'll get trashed in, and then debut in the division that you wanted to play in, and then do really good in that one. It's like, all right, by that definition, it's comeback player of the year, because that's the precedent that's being set right here.
Because, yeah, and I know that we're kind of beating a dead horse because we already talked about the same thing last time, but whatever, here we are.
I don't know. I just think next season it should be based off of your performance from the previous season to this season. And if your comeback is in the same season, then it's like,
well, that means that you can have a rookie that's a comeback player, and how can you come back if you're a rookie? And that was what I didn't really understand and didn't really make sense to me. If I'm just gonna forget about whatever happened in 2015, whatever happened with his team's match, whatever, let's forget it, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm pretty sure I said this exact same thing. So, but how can you be a comeback player if you're a rookie? I know technically Ace is not a rookie. However, on 2 divisions in which he competed this year, he was rookie. He was a rookie.
Rookie to that division.
Both of those divisions.
Yeah.
So as far as that division is concerned, as far as the league is concerned, no, you're right, he's not a rookie. But as far as those 2 divisions he competed in, he was a rookie. What are you coming back from?
Coming back from, sleeping all day?
What?
I don't know.
Like what? Like what? I just don't understand what you're coming back from.
I know.
So it didn't really make much sense to me. But whatever. Congratulations to Andres. Yeah, he absolutely had a fantastic season.
Yeah,
overall.
we're not saying that he didn't have a fantastic season.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. I just don't understand why he was a comeback player of the year.
It doesn't make sense to me, and as for what I thought a definition of a comeback player is, he didn't really fit that criteria.
Yeah, like Eric Zipper.
Yeah.
Not really great showings previously.
And also, if it's like he came back from one not embarrassing, but like one not great performance in IG, and he got knocked out. There were plenty of other players that started the season getting knocked out and then went on a run. It's like, so why didn't they get comeback player of the year?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And there was somebody else that was in there. I think it was Perry that was also nominated. And we were like, I don't understand why she's nominated either. Same kind of thing. Several years ago, she competed, didn't really do great, and then she comes back and now she beats Mike Kalinowski. I just,
And you said it before we announced the winner. It was, I'm surprised Eric Zipper didn't even get a nomination.
He had a significant improvement.
Very significant improvement. And it was baffling to me. It's like, that to me is a definition of a comeback player. He doesn't have a great performance in his first couple seasons, and the last season didn't do great, and then came back and you saw how much work he put in and how much he improved. So it's like, I think he got snubbed for a nomination, and if he was nominated, he probably got my vote, because I voted for Jeff Snyder, who, and somebody did comment on the last episode. It's like, yeah, well, Snyder had a pretty good season last year too. It's like, then that escaped me. It's like, yeah, he did. He won the title, but then he had a really short reign with the title. He competed for the singles belt, but his performance wasn't really like the top-notch Snyder. It was that Snyder that we've seen before, where he sort of gave up before the match was even over.
Yeah.
So I think that was lingering in my head. It's like, yeah, that little sour note of his made me think he had a lesser season last season.
Yeah.
So that's who my vote went to was Jeff Snyder. So
I really just should just take notes because I don't remember all the things that happened throughout the course of the
yeah,
year.
it's especially
I barely remember the beginning of this season, much less what happened last season.
especially with all the matches that are going to happen this next season. It's going to be so much to remember. We're going to have to go on like the actual website and like, all right, so we got to make sure all the, because they're going to have to keep records of this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And then just go back through the entire season. Like, well, here's all the matches that happened. Here's who's nominated and here's their criteria. So
a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's just it's 2 nominations in the category that it didn't make sense to me, but you know, whatever. I'm not running the show.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. The next award, Babyface of the Year. Not really surprised here. Brendan Meyer. He would have gotten my virtual vote, you know, if I had given it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Brendan Meyer. He's
2-time Babyface of the Year. This is
the Brendan Meyer Award.
Yeah, second year in a row that he's won it. So.
Funny thing I did see on Twitter that Abby Friel, shout out to that queen. She said that I don't know if it was her boyfriend or something, but she said that she had to explain to somebody that a baby face did not mean that they had the face that most resembled a baby's.
it's a good guy, the good guy award.
I just thought that was funny.
Good, yeah.
So yeah, Brendan Meyer, not surprising.
That's not surprising. I'm pretty sure he got like almost 80-90% of the vote.
Probably.
So I can't even remember who was nominated in the rest of that category.
I'm telling you, same. Babyface Team of the Year. Shazam,
another
half
no-brainer.
of which is the Babyface of the Year. So yeah, not surprised again.
Yeah, did they get Babyface of the Year last year?
I think
Team.
they did.
I think they did. So yeah,
and I think you're right. So I think they've repeated here. Good job.
Yeah,
and I just think it's absolutely fitting.
I think there's more heel teams than there are babyface teams.
Yeah,
to be quite honest, like because when you think, I mean, obviously heel teams, Team Corruption. Founding Fathers weren't. Well, they were a babyface.
They were nominated for babyface.
They were nominated, but it's just immediately
doesn't make sense in my brain.
Yeah,
but then again, I'm not good at like wrestling terms, so I don't know.
I mean, Final Exam can be a babyface, but then it's like
I don't know. And then there's the tweeners, whatever that means. In between,
the in betweeners. Yeah,
I feel like Final Exam could be that.
Yeah.
I feel like Founding Fathers, I don't know. I don't think that they're a babyface team.
With Roka's attitude and, you know, his intensity, it's just hard to see him as like a babyface team.
But yes.
A face team, I should say.
Exactly. But it also doesn't mean that they're heels. Like, intensity doesn't just mean you're a heel. It just means you're intense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess for me, I would classify them as tweener.
Yeah. But like when you think of like, you know, the face teams, it's like the first name out of your mouth is Shazam. Because it's one, Koi.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
It would be like Shazam, top of my brain, Real Rejects, because they're just fun.
Yeah.
You know, and then Witching Power will probably be a good one. But yeah, no, I feel like a lot of other teams are either heel or in between to some capacity. So I think this was a brilliant
no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Yeah.
After that, Heel of the Year.
Ooh.
An interesting one.
So this one, my vote went to Shannon.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised how this one turned out.
Had I cast my vote, I probably would have given it to Shannon as well. However, Shcmoedown Award won. And you know what? I'm okay with it.
I am too.
I'm okay with it because he's really been leaning into this hard.
And not just...
he's been doing good with it.
And that's what makes a good heel. For the Schmoedown, they go, and I know I've had conversations with Christians about this too. It's like if you're gonna go heel, you have to commit to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not gonna be good at it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just mean when you're on screen in the Schmoedown. Chandra talks smack on Twitter, on the Facebook group.
Oh yeah.
If he's in the Reddit thread, he's on there smack talking. Like people that come to mind that you know do this very well. Shannon, Mike. Ben does it pretty well. Goddard. Who else does it?
Chandra is really good.
Chandra's really good at it. And he went all in on it. Hannah's really good at it too, because you know he was nominated as well, I believe. But like he turns it up when he's on screen, but then even on off screen stuff is where I think you can really win the award, and I think that's what won it for him.
I
and
just
the recency bias, I think, as well.
Well, that too. But I think that he just has a quality. Shannon is like, I don't know. They're both like in your face heels.
Yeah.
But I feel like Shannon is about, you know, bravado of it all. And Chandru, I feel like he just like gets under your skin, you know, and he's just you just kind of want to backhand him sometimes.
Yeah.
And that just means he's doing his job.
I think Shannon's a little bit more like the mean girl type of thing.
Yeah.
And Chandru is
She did make a Mean Girls reference, did she not?
Chandru is like he's more arrogant.
He does have that
he's the arrogant
quality
heel.
to his character, yeah.
And I think that's what really gets under your skin is like, and the fact that I think another thing that makes a good heel that when you do vote for the heel of the year, you can't really vote for a heel that doesn't win anything. You know what I mean? So like they can be just like mentioned, like what we all just said on the on-screen stuff, the Twitter stuff. If you don't win, you're not on anybody's minds.
Yeah.
Chandru has the belt. He defended it. Shannon
won many
awards,
things.
many things. She won the faction race. So they're two of the heels that were on everybody's minds.
Absolutely. No, I think Chandru, it was well deserved because I feel like he started out kind of just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And then the longer his hair got, the more he was like,
I don't know. I think
to win it.
And I think again, a lot of this stuff we're playing characters.
Yeah.
And Chandru, we've talked to him before. He's nothing really a lot like this.
We've only had the pleasure to speak with him once, but he wasn't like this when we talked to him. He was a really sweet dude.
We've talked to several different people, and Mike is a shining example of that. Like
Mike and Shannon.
Yeah, and Shannon. They're not really a lot like their characters.
No.
But when they're on screen, it's like, oh,
yeah,
wow. But this Ben Bateman has said this before. When you're playing a character, it's not something that you just fabricated out of thin air. It's like, all right, I want you. And Christian's like, I want you to do this. I think what Christian has been doing with all the characters, me included, Chandru included, is he sees something that you've maybe said in passing, or in something that really like makes you like more watchable,
right?
And things, and he intensifies that
and capitalizes
on that because I'm pretty sure. He watched our show for the longest time. Yeah, is it getting cold in here?
It was getting a little cold. That fan was really doing some double duty up there. My God.
But you know what I mean? Because I think he watched our show, and I can have a bit of an attitude sometimes.
Can we all?
You know what I mean? I think he saw that, and he's like, hey, I'm doing a little bit of a backstage thing right here, where like he messages me. He's like, hey, what do you think about going heel? I'm like, it's not my first choice, but if you want, I think if it's good for the character, it's good for the character. And it's like, all right, so this is what I want you to do. And the next time that I ended up doing that, it's like, yeah, this attitude really works for the character.
Yeah.
Let's capitalize on that. And I think that's what he does with everybody else. He noticed that unless he plays the heel really good, it's like, let's spin that.
Yeah.
And I think with Chandru, it was that whole, he said a couple things in interviews, and he's like, ooh, that hit a couple people's buttons, that pressed people's buttons.
Yeah.
Let's capitalize on that and just run with this. And it worked really well for him.
Yeah, because back in the day, he was just all about doing his little dances and flossing up on the stage.
Yeah.
And he would say a couple backhanded things here and there, but with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
But you're like disarmed by the fact that he's just giggling and dancing everywhere. And then I feel like it was around that one cutscene that he had with Kevin.
Yeah.
I forget what they said, but it was just like Kevin was basically like, I see through your facade here. I know who you really are. It was something to that effect. Yeah. And Chandru got this really like serious look on his face. I feel like that was a turning point. And he just somehow gradually, yet also at the same time, almost abruptly became this like huge
arrogant
heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he plays it so well because there were times that I'm like, oh, he's got that. He does it so well where when somebody's cocky and they're arrogant and you're just like, oh, I just want to take him down a peg, you know? And you just want to see that kind of person lose it. And you want to see them be like, yeah, screw you. Look at you. You lost. But he backed it up.
Yeah.
And it just made it even worse because now he's like, yeah, I defended it.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah.
And it just powered him up more.
Yeah.
And he's playing the role really well. So I think it's a well-deserved win.
I do too, and I think that's what makes the Schmoedown good, and what Christian is doing is great because he finds these little things and he just intensifies. And not to say that like
he just turns it up a little bit.
Turns it up a bit. It's not that Chandru is this arrogant guy that he likes. He's a very nice guy. Yeah. We've talked to him. It's just, and it's not to say that the arrogance is him. It's just a part of him that Christian wants to like. Hey, I noticed that. Let's amp that up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done.
Chandru, if you're watching or listening or whatever. Heel team of the year. I don't remember
all the nominees, but
all the nominees.
Yeah.
However, Corruption
Team Corruption,
won. Team
yeah.
Corruption. Not surprising. They do it well. That's where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Mike Kalinowski is probably one of the like. Mike Kalinowski is probably one of the characters people like cite when they say, "Oh, this player inspired me, and this player I've always looked up to."
Yeah.
Mike, he just does the heel character so well, and he does it in a different way than Chandra does. He does it in a different way than Shannon does. Mike has always had like this fourth wall break type thing where he's always addressing the audience directly, and he's always done that. And I feel like that really adds to how well he does as a heel.
Yeah, and Chance. I love how far Chance has come. Not just as a competitor, but his character has really shifted because
I was not a huge fan when he first debuted.
When Chance, wow, what am I doing?
Chance.
No, when Chance and Oyama both came into the league at the same time, they're a carbon copy of each other. Basically the same exact character. And
it was tired.
Yeah, and then you got them a couple matches. They've been they've been in the league like 3 seasons now. Vastly different characters now.
Oh, I love where both of them have gone.
I'm so happy that we were able to get Chance into a place where it's like he is that arrogant, sort of like a different type of arrogant player, and you know what I mean.
This young gun coming in here, early 20 something, like that's even still an age. It's been so long.
Yeah, I'm so glad to see him blossom into this character and find his place, because before it's like every rookie had that same kind of like carbon copy type of things. Like
I'm gonna wear a jacket. I'm gonna wear sunglasses.
I'm gonna have a lot of attitude, and
I'm just gonna act like I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm never gonna smile.
Yeah.
And that was just like everybody.
Yeah,
that
it's everybody.
Season.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay,
come on now.
Can somebody shake it up here?
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get a new influx of that with the new competitors coming in next season too, and I'm sure they'll find their footing.
Yeah,
but
that's the way it happens with everybody. Everybody wants to come up with guns blazing, and it's just sprinting from the start. It's like
you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who is the exact same character than they were in their first match.
Yeah,
you know, I don't really. Everybody's evolved.
I think the only people you can say that about Tom, Scrimshaw is basically
he's pretty consistent.
He's very consistent. Alex has been pretty consistent of who he's been.
Paul Preston's
been very consistent. But these are people that like, I mean, aside from Alex, his attitude is the same, but like he's been very good about his jokes have been quicker because he took improv classes.
Right.
Apparently.
No, he's definitely seems more comfortable.
He's more. That's the word I was looking for. He's more comfortable, but he's basically the same guy when he entered the league.
Yeah.
But I think the Paul Prestons, Toms, these are people that have online presences before, and it's like, hey, I have this outlandish character. Let's just bring him into the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
So
how did we get there? Oh, we're talking about heels.
Yeah.
Corruption. Good job.
Corruption. Yeah.
Good job.
I mean, that was another no-brainer. Like the faces and the heels were kind of like
not surprising.
No, that is I'm voting for. But I did vote for Shannon for heel of the year.
Yeah.
But I am not surprised that Chandra got it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
A feud of the year.
New category.
A new category. Shannon and Roxy. I feel like you probably could have said Shannon and insert, and it would probably be like, I see that.
But I think this is the one I did vote for because anytime they got on camera together, it's just
fireworks.
Like, complete fireworks. It's the high school girls. Even though I don't want to compare them to high school girls, but like it was that kind of attitude.
It was just that kind of like
bitter high school rivalry type of deal.
Yeah.
The insults fly whenever they pass each other in the hallway. You know what I mean?
The kind of feud that when they're really going at it, you're just kind of sitting there like,
oh no. You're just like, can I just melt into my seat?
Oh, I do. Like that kind of feud.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I think they both do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Of leaning into that. And I think that's a well-deserved one too.
Oh yeah, and I would like to see. I don't know if this is going to be a regular award. I would love to see awards like this sort of rotate in and out. You know what I mean? It's like maybe there's one category that it's only there for that year. And it's just this fun little thing that Christian thinks of.
Like, because this year just happened to be really heavy on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, there just seemed to be, like, hot rivalries this year.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much next year, not in the same way. You know. I like the idea of something like that.
Yeah.
Like
It's like the MTV Movie Awards. They rotated in a couple like joke categories. Like, what was it, like Kiss of the Year or something like that, or that'd be fun to do.
I think that might be.
And I think this is
one.
This is like an example of that. It's like if we don't get this award next year, I won't be heartbroken.
Or there could be something else that like, oh, well, season 8, there was a lot of this happening.
Yeah.
So, maybe this year we'll have this category because there just seem to be many of this type of moment. Yeah. Who knows? It will probably stay there because there's always going to be rivalries and feuds. But
because I would hate to keep adding to the list and then we're back in the live like thing. It's like,
oh, okay, we're at award 50 now.
Exactly. You're gonna have to do the thing they do with the Oscars. So like, here's the technical awards, and we're gonna air it. We're not even gonna air it. We're gonna have it a different night, and we're just gonna like, here's this 2-minute clip of who won that night. And it's like, okay, nobody else cares about that. Yeah. So I don't want it to get to that point. I want everybody to be able to get their time in the sun. And,
keep it
like
fresh.
That. Yeah.
And keep it not 5 hours, Next, new team of the year. Blows my mind because it just does not feel like a new team. It feels like they've been around for at least 2 seasons.
Exactly. And
so I guess that's probably why they're a good winner.
Yeah, and it is a new category, I believe. Is it? Or no?
I don't know.
I can't remember this being around last season.
But new team of the year goes to Final Exam.
No duh. I mean, they're one of, because there's maybe 2 or 3 teams that got created through the draft.
Yes.
Tom and Paul were one.
Yes.
Final Exam was another one.
Witching Power again.
Witching Power, yeah.
Deception.
Yeah.
I don't remember if all these people were actually nominated, but they're just examples of new teams.
Yeah, but I think Final Exam definitely deserved this because they went on a run.
Yeah, and they just feel like they've been around for more than one season. And maybe that's why they've had an impact on me because it just feels like they're not a new team. What are you talking about?
Because they kept winning. They kept competing. They kept getting matches. They kept winning. It didn't end the way they wanted it to, but I mean, they had the most. I think they had the most wins out of the new teams, I believe.
Yeah, they're not only fun to watch. Their chemistry is so weird, but I like weird.
Charming. It's very charming.
Yeah, like Lon's delinquent thing.
Always checking in on him. It's like, just show up.
Yeah. And then you got Paul with his just like newer.
I really liked Paul's new character.
Carefree. I don't even know how to describe it.
I don't know why he doesn't wear Hawaiian shirts.
Well, that's
his theme song is awesome. You've heard his theme song, right?
I love his theme song.
It's like, why not wear a Hawaiian shirt? You live in Hawaii. I know Hawaiians don't.
That was gonna be my next question. Do people who live in Hawaii actually wear Hawaiian shirts?
Pro tip: if you're going to Hawaii, don't wear Hawaiian shirts because everybody will pick you out as a tourist and they'll upcharge you.
Ooh, so if I wear regular clothes, I'll blend in.
Yeah, just wear your normal clothes. I actually got discounts because they thought I was local. Because
I bet I could pass for a local there. Right?
So
no, what? Matt Atchity, that's his thing.
Yeah.
So, big Kahuna.
Yeah.
I wonder.
So there's a pro tip from me on the Schmoedown. If you go to Hawaii, don't wear Hawaiian shirts. Don't wear fanny packs, obviously, but just dress like you normally do here and wherever you're from.
I miss fanny packs.
I don't.
They're fun. Put your granola bars.
Put your tuna in there.
Ponchos, just in case you go on a splash zone on a ride.
Going for a ride on Tatooine. You need your sand poncho, your desert poncho. Sorry,
sand poncho.
Qui-Gon Jinn wore a poncho. Luke Skywalker wore a poncho.
True. Because sand is abrasive and it gets everywhere, and I hate it.
Coarse and rough and
irritating. Coarse and rough. That's from Star Wars. If you guys didn't know.
Next category.
Absolutely crushed that quote. I did. Next one is Entrance of the Year.
Okay, so this one was, again, I think we mentioned this. This one was hard because digital age. Like, we got a couple of really good live entrances, and then we had to go to the digital.
Yes.
And I'm a little sour that Alex Damon didn't get nominated for his little, I'll take care of that later. I love that. Alex, that was genius.
Yeah.
It was so good. I would have nominated that.
Yeah. Right in. Man, maybe if I would have voted.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry, guys.
But
dropped the ball here.
But I think this was like the one where it's like, I'm voting for the real rejects, but I know which one's gonna win. I know which one's gonna win.
Like, there's no point.
Yeah. And then, surprise.
But I mean, you gotta hand it to him. The man did shave his head.
I know, dedication, man.
And I'm
not saying
for that alone he deserves it.
I'm not saying the Flouse isn't a fun character. I jumped in on it when when it was hot, but I was just at this point I was just like, okay.
Okay.
I get it. Okay. Okay.
I wonder how. I wonder if we'll. I'm sure
we have
this
not,
isn't the end.
We have not seen the last of the Flouse, and I remember he came in late for his. Well,
Brett Sheridan accepted it on his behalf, right?
No, it was actually the Flouse.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's like going off thinking he thanked President Taft.
Brett Sheridan is a treasure.
He is a treasure, but it's like I feel bad for his family. I have to deal with that little thing.
That alone, I'm like, yeah, take the award, man.
Yeah.
Give it to your wife because she deserves it too. But yeah, no, Brett is a treasure.
Yeah.
I never actually spoke to him. I stood right next to him in that bar, but I was like,
we walked to him to it was Merle's birthday thing after the awards.
Yeah. The Den or whatever it was called.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no, but I was like standing right next to him and we walked with him and I'm like, I don't want to. I know he
yeah, I know he's weird. I think he's better about that though.
And I feel kind of awkward, but I also think he's great, but I don't want to bother him. So I never said hi, but he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's like I'm gonna vote for Real Rejects, but I know for a clear fact who's getting this award.
Yeah, no, the Flouse.
The Flouse. I mean, come on.
He deserves it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Brett.
Shaving his head on camera. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I really can't argue that. Star Wars Player of the Year. Not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
We did see a pretty robust discussion about this on a
Yes,
Reddit.
yes. I
thread,
do
which
want to
thought
talk
was
about this.
interesting.
I do want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
no duh, Ace Cabrera.
Well, yeah, it was kind of a no moment. Like obviously we know who's going to win that award.
Yeah.
It was down to either Ace or Alex. Mm-hmm. And it was basically down to, do you give it to Ace for his run in the tournament, or do you give it to Alex for what he did at Spectacular?
And full disclosure, I voted for Ace. It's like, yeah,
I would have too.
I was on that. I was nominated, but I didn't vote for myself because Ace is clearly the Star Wars player because he won the tournament.
Yes.
So, but I think the argument was,
I got these little like hairs in my.
Doing like an Elliot Reed here.
Ladies, you feel me?
All right, ladies.
Yeah, no, it just sometimes you just get flyaways.
But I think the point of that Reddit thread was the argument was, do we give it to the tournament winner or do we give it to the champ?
Yeah, there was two people really going back and forth, and I appreciated both sides of the argument because they were both making their own decent points.
Yeah,
to where it was like, yeah, no, you're right. You're not. No one's making anything up here. No one's saying anything wrong. Like, you're both right. It's just it's very subjective. There's no way around voting for something being subjective.
Yeah, and I think one of the points that the person that said Alex should have won it was like, look at what he's done. Like Ace did run for the tournament, but then he gets knocked out in the final, and I think they said that Ace's performance was just so inconsistent that's like, how can I award him for being the Star Wars Player of the Year when he's so inconsistent?
Right.
And then Alex has shown that every single Star Wars match, even though he played one Star Wars match, it's the typical Alex Damon.
Yes, because I think the person that was saying that Ace should have ended, win. The person arguing that Ace should win was saying, well, Alex only played one match.
Yeah.
And look at Andres. He had to play how many? 5, 6?
Playing Ken. He played 5 this year, 4 in the tournament.
Yeah, they were like, look at how many matches Ace had to play, and Alex only played 1. And the counter argument to that was like, yeah, but Alex, look at how dominant he's been in the past. How many times has he defended? Look at how Alex plays. And then it was just kind of like, yeah, but if you always take somebody's past into account, then you're never going to be able to overtake that because that legacy is always going to be there. But it wasn't like, no, I'm not saying it's based on past. I'm saying that we're using the past to validate this season. He only played 1 match, but it is incredibly consistent with what he has shown in the past.
Yeah, so I
don't know. That didn't make sense. I didn't explain it well.
I think by taking that logic, had he would have played the same amount of Ace had played, you still would have gotten that dominant performance of only missing maybe 1 each match.
Right.
So I think looking at that, it's like, if we assume that Alex would have played more, he probably would have played the same throughout the entire tournament. Because
he's always been incredibly consistent. And it's not his fault that he only played 1 match.
Yeah, because he's the title holder.
But the way he performed in that match was incredibly consistent with the way that we've always known him and seen him to perform. So that was the person that was I'm assuming, voting for Alex. That was their argument. And it was just interesting to read both sides of it.
Yeah.
Because they're both right in their own respect.
And again, I did vote for Ace, but then there's that thing to say, like, I said this before on another podcast where, like, Ace, you put him anywhere else in the bracket, doesn't make it past the first round because based off his performance in the play-in, not up to where he ended the tournament.
Yeah.
He's one of those players in the tournament you can clearly see the improvement between each match.
Right.
Doesn't do the best in the play-in. Goes up against Ken, improves.
Still a little rocky.
Still a little rocky. Then he goes in against perfect against Laura Kelly.
Right.
And then he continues to improve and wins the tournament when he plays me in the final.
Right.
So that, I think, taking into consideration that he won the tournament and the vast amount of improvement that he put through that tournament, that's why I voted for him.
Right.
So I wasn't voting for, like, he consistently, because, you know what, based off of what that person's argument, then I should have voted for Alex.
I mean, I thought it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because if you're voting for Star Wars to Play of the Year right now, it would always be Alex Damon at this point.
Yeah.
Until he loses that belt, it would always be Alex Damon.
Yeah.
So I think it was, I don't know. I would have voted for Ace had I cast a vote.
Yeah.
My bad. Next, we've got Rookie of the Year. No surprise here.
Yeah.
Adam the Coyote Collins. Not a surprise. He
Lost
played
one match.
Amazing. It lost one match in teams, went undefeated in singles.
Won the horror free-for-all.
Climbed, Mount Merle in his rookie season. I'm sorry. Alliteration.
All berries.
Alliteration led me there, and I'm not actually happy about it.
Yeah.
He beat Dan Morrell.
Yeah.
And took the belt in his rookie season, which is insane.
Yeah.
And going on that run, knocking people out left and right, not even just scraping by, knocking people out along the way.
Yeah.
Big names. So
yeah, it was a no-brainer.
No surprise at all. And that doesn't mean any shade to the other people that were nominated because they were fantastic as well. But I think even they would be like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man, give it to Collins. Come on now. When you're the champ at the end of the season, your rookie season.
Yodi Award.
Yes.
Kevin the
Smets.
Smasher Smets.
Hashtag smash cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And his accession specs, even he admitted, like, oh man, I'm droning on here. But a lot of great things to say, like, get checked out, because I think he said something like, out of the like hundreds of people that reached out to him, 4 or 5 of them came back with news they didn't like. And it's like, and I think they said, like, thanks to Kevin Smets, like, pushing me to get checked out, I probably would have been wandering around, and they caught it early too. That was very important. They got checked because of Kevin Smets, and they caught it early. So, I'm going to repeat everything that he says. Get checked, because you never know. And especially I'm getting checked because, he inspired me to go to the doctor in so many years. And my family's history is not the best with the C word.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, and you're scared to do it because you're scared to get that bad news.
Yeah.
But, isn't it better to get that bad news early on so that you have a fighting chance than to wait until it's too late?
Yeah.
So it's scary, but you also want to try to avoid it. So,
and he also,
prevention is better than treatment.
Yeah. And on a lighter note, lighter for like real life stuff, he went on as much, and he's like, I'm going to be going through all this stuff, but I do want to help the dungeon out this next season, because he called it in his rookie season, I'm going to be Rookie of the Year, IG Player of the Year, I'm going to be the IG Champion. Like, everything that he said in that, it's like boom, 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 boom. He got all of them. He's like, I'm calling it right now. I'm going to help the dungeon go from last to first.
Oh,
so it's like, ooh.
That's a tall order.
It's a tall order, but it's fairly feasible.
But when you think of a powerhouse player, if your mind doesn't go straight to Kevin Smets, you're crazy.
Yeah, and at the very end, he brought his wife and his daughter in.
So cute.
Oh, so cute. So
cute.
Yeah,
little
much
baby smasher.
Well deserved. Keep fighting the fight, because
he's gonna get there.
He's gonna get there.
He's for sure gonna get there.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna be a rough road. But we all know he can do it, and we'll all be there every step of the way. So next, best. Okay. I think originally it was Podcast of the Year, but it's written here as Best Schmoedown Media of the Year. There are changes to this. In any case, Call to Action won.
I was actually very surprised about this.
I was too.
I thought not Call to Action.
Certain point of view.
Certain point of view. I voted for certain point of view.
That's who I thought it was going to be a shoe-in. Because I kind of figured, I don't know, Call to Action won last year.
Yeah.
Certain point of view has gained a large following.
Yeah, they were hitting a real, and everybody on that list, the work they put in, is incredible. Because we both just went on Let's Get Ready.
Yeah.
And God, it's like when I was on, they're like, yeah, this our next show we're gonna be interviewing 6 people. I'm like, geez, man, where do you get the time? Because we already said that it's no surprise that we weren't nominated.
No,
because we don't put as much work in as the rest of the shows do.
No, I don't.
But I was very surprised they Call to Action won it again because they won it last year.
Yeah,
and it's well deserved because they're
insane.
They have several different, many different people on the show. They have several different types of shows, several different unique shows too. Yeah. That's not just the thing because like I think certain point of view is starting to do this where they're branching off into different. Not just like, hey, let's sit down and talk Schmoedown and like that and like forget like what we do, but Call to Action has like Schmoebaits and like all these other different shows that are
Schmoedown adjacent.
That's the word I was looking for. Schmoedown adjacent, but they're not just like, hey, let's talk about the match and give your opinions and like panel type of shows. Jesus, like, ew, it gets boring. Who does that?
Losers.
But it's like shows like that. I think that's well deserved why they got it because it's just it's not just like, hey, let's tune into this Schmoedown podcast. It's like let's hear people debate stuff and all that kind of stuff. So
variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, and if we had the time, I have a couple other ideas for different types of like not just Schmoedown adjacent shows, but like other shows.
Man, I'm telling you, if this was about 5 or 10 years ago, we would be knees deep. Almost said something else. We'd be knees deep.
Yeah,
in just podcasting.
I think neck deep would be
neck deep.
Yeah.
We would be if this was about 5-10 years ago, and we had a bit more time on our hands.
We'd have a show every day.
We'd be nuts. It would take over our lives.
And it wouldn't be pre-recorded. I'm pretty sure we would be live.
Oh no,
every single day of the week if we had the time.
But alas, we're a couple of early to mid 30-year-olds with a baby that if I have extra time, it's being spent on me, baby. You know
and other things.
About? Yeah, Savvy.
We got Star Wars to watch. That's why
that too, I guess. Yeah, that too. But I mean, it's whatever. I don't need to make excuses. Whatever. I'm just here having a good time, just living my life. Jesus, get off my back.
Yeah, but well deserved for Call to Action. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The amount of work that all the nominees put in is just mind blowing to me, and I don't. Good for you.
Yeah. So.
Good thing you're here.
I do want to do because we were talking about this the other night, like another show that we want to do. I don't know how regular it will be. Maybe once a month.
Are we gonna mention what it is?
I mean. It involves.
It hinges probably a big deal on having a babysitter.
Yes.
Overnight.
Yes.
Not just for the day.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be going hard.
Yeah.
So,
It involves, drinks of sorts.
Okay. What had happened was, I don't know what we were watching, but what were we watching?
I don't know.
I don't know. But in any case, we saw something about a power hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we had a power hour show, but where we joined in midway through the power hour? Because,
Yeah.
It would be funny if you had a power hour and jumped in and
in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of it, just to see where you are.
My immediate thought was like, power hour with Rogue and Demi.
Yeah. And then we have people on and just talk about whatever.
Yeah. You start the show off by taking a shot. Then every minute you take a swig of whatever you're drinking. And you go on and the show's an hour long.
Be wild. I haven't done a power hour since I was
21.
I don't know, 21 or 2.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. It's been a long Step.
Dope beat to step to. Step 2.
Fricky.
It's been a long time. Aaliyah, I should have left you without a dope beat to step 2. Okay,
that's
I got
the song
there.
to Romeo Must Die, right?
Yeah. What would you do to get to me? Yeah. I was like, ooh, wow, that sounds familiar. But why?
It was a pretty sick music video. She was dancing with Jet Li, and I think she was on the wall.
Man,
or he was on the wall.
Peace,
I can't remember.
Aaliyah.
I can't remember.
Rest in
I remember it being a pretty decent movie.
Never saw it.
Never saw it?
Nope,
That's a decent
sure
movie.
didn't. Is that a surprise to anybody?
They actually do make a joke about she like sneaks off and one of her buddies or bodyguards comes out. It's like, I'm gonna find your Aaliyah looking ass. He's like, oh, inside joke, like a meta joke.
Funny because it is her. Nice joke, bro. Anyways,
that was podcast of the year.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's
right.
So for next season, they're splitting into two categories.
Yes, there's going to be Best Schmoedown Podcast of the Year.
Which is all like call to actions.
No. That's Best Media.
Yeah, that's Best Media. So start with the media. So it'd be the same awards, same media will be the call to actions, let's get ready. This I don't know where certain point of view will land in this.
Because they do have an
active competitor on their show.
So
but
I don't know.
Non-competitor shows, like after shows or blogs or what have you.
Yeah, because I think it's open up, like, it doesn't just have to be a podcast. It can be a blog because,
TikTokers, reactors.
TikTokers like Abby. Yeah. We saw, I know a lot of people said, why is Repeat the Question there? He stopped making videos, He
kept writing articles. So
but he kept writing articles. So... yeah, it's kind of open up where it's not just a podcast. It's just kind of any media type content.
Kind of like reactors reacting to the Schmoedown type of thing, non-competitors. But then there is the category of Schmoedown Podcast of the Year.
Right.
Which will include
Backstage
Rundown, Machine Mondays, Us.
So it's going to be Backstage and the Rundown every year. Pretty much.
I'm actually just glad that we will be able to be considered for an award for this show.
Happy to be here. Okay?
So say Kevin Smets and he'd be a bad example because he's got other things to worry about.
Yeah.
But
say Ben Goddard and I started a show. Why not?
Yeah, the Action Guys. They have a podcast that they talk about Schmoedown all the time. So if it's run by a competitor, it'll fall into this Schmoedown Podcast Award.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking, like, where does certain point of view sort of land here?
Because it's a weird in-between. It's not run by a competitor, but it does have a high-profile competitor.
And not just in the Schmoedown.
In their own channel.
In YouTube. She's widely known across the space. So it's like, where do they fall? I don't know where that is, but now there's no longer this argument. It's like, well, Beyond the Schmoedown can't be nominated because it's run by a competitor, especially with you being in the draft. And if you do get picked up, now it's a completely competitor show.
Yeah.
So
who knows?
I'm glad that we get, because I would have sucked to be like,
happy to be part of the conversation. I guess
I think
that's an honor in and of itself.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's the new thing that's happening.
Yes.
For this award next season.
So, IG Player of the Year, Shcmoedown Award.
No brainer.
Not surprising. He does have the belt.
He did defend it.
And he defended
broke that curse.
Broke that cycle, and he's just shown his IG prowess.
Yeah, and his defense and win. It's not like he's like, oh, I just got there.
Right.
Convincing wins over his past two matches.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
hard to argue.
Hard to argue that.
Well done, Chandru.
Well done, Chandru.
If you're even listening. Upset of the year: Perry Nemiroff against Mike Kalinowski.
This one I think was another no-brainer,
yeah.
and we discussed about it in length in the last episode. It's like when you looked at all the other nominees, there was one nomination that's like nobody gave Perry a shot to win this.
No.
With Ace versus me, Ace versus Laura. The Ace versus Laura one was like, oh, wow, that was pretty good. But by the time he got to the finals, like we're well aware of what Ace is now.
Right.
Perry Nemiroff was like, well, she could.
I don't know. I'll wander back to the Schmoedown after a couple of years.
Yeah, and then
I'll go against Mike Kalinowski.
Yeah, and then beat him. It's like nobody gave her a fighting chance in this, and she pulled out the win.
Yeah.
So that's where my vote went. I'm pretty sure where everybody else went to, because that was just like, man,
that was crazy.
Did not see that coming.
Crazy. Good job, Perry.
And on that note, I think that's what an upset is, when you absolutely do not see this person winning,
right?
And then they win it, regardless of how they win it. They win it. That's a true upset.
Oh yeah, I think this was a huge one.
Yeah.
Faction of the year.
No duh.
Not surprising. Mm-hmm. Corruption. Last place to first place. Mm-hmm. Commanding lead. On top of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and Shannon got real emotional in her speech, because it was like she was a lot like you, because Christian kept pestering her. It's like, come on, you should manage. Yeah. And she finally did it, and did she her true rookie season managing.
Yeah.
and
crushes
it, wins it all.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't looking good at the beginning of the season. It was like, your team sucks.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
She got a lot of crap in the beginning of the year, and she just said, guess what?
Latter half of the season happens. Adam Collins goes on a huge run.
Plucks him out of free agency like it's nothing.
Yeah, that IG tournament had a lot to do with it too.
Horror free-for-all. It's crazy.
They were just winning everything, and it's like, all right, they're in the lead. And now it's just like, they kept going.
Let's just see how much farther they get.
Yeah. And Mike jumped on there too, and he's like being the Mike analysis. It's like, oh, we're gonna catch them. Oh.
Mike is a fucking legend. Mike Kalinowski's a legend.
Yeah.
And if you don't think so, you crazy. Get out. Don't you're allowed to have your own opinion. But Mike's a legend, and I love when he does that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I was surprised.
Makes me miss the sheep days.
Yeah. I was pleasant, not surprised, but I was so genuinely happy that we had to see that side of Shannon.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be like, yeah, I just played it to play it. It's like, this shows like how much effort she put into it, how much she cared about it.
Yes, the passion.
Because like, there's plenty of other people in this run that's like, yeah, I'll do it. And it's like, they lose, like, yeah, well, I gave it an honest shot.
Yeah.
But then when you see something like this means something to people. And like, you can joke about it all you want to us. It's like, it's more than just trivia to us.
Yeah.
It's like, we put so much effort into it, so much blood, sweat, and tears into it. And when something like this happens, it's like, this is why I play.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I put in the effort.
And I also enjoy that, you have this heartfelt message, and then she just kind of switches back to, her queen persona.
Shut up. Sit down and shut up, idiots.
Love it. Shannon is an absolute queen. Moment of the year. Dan Murrell with I Won.
This is a weird category.
It is.
Because it's like, it has a lot to do with, you can't really like put stats into this. Like, you can't put logic into it. It's just like what resonates with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't remember what all the nominees were. I can't remember who I voted for. I think I might have voted for this.
There was a lot.
I
feel like it was this and Match of the Year that there was so many.
I'm so sorry. I voted for the Shannon drafting Elliot Dewberry and splitting it up.
Right.
That's what my vote went for, because like
it had ramifications.
One, it had ramifications. Two, it like I was in that room that day. I was like, everybody in the room like, no, not the wild berries.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah. So, oh God, but I mean, this is very well deserved, because he commented that Mara had come in the room to console him for his loss.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I won?
Holy.
I want to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it was so long
ago. Because if they do this again next season, it's just one of those where it's like, depending on who you are and like what kind of stakes you have in the match or the moment, it's like, and I think a lot of people were just like so shocked by, the fashion that Dan won that, and his genuine reaction was like, this has nothing to do with character or whatever. So it's like, I was genuinely surprised that I won.
I need to go back and rewatch that. Team of the year, also a no-brainer. Odd Couple. They were on fire.
The latter half of the season, they were just unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the title match wasn't indicative of that.
Not necessarily.
But like while they were in the tournament, it was to a point where it was like, God, is anybody going to knock these guys down? Because they were just on every cylinder.
Yeah.
Any possible way that they needed to win, they were firing all cylinders together.
And not just answering questions. They were working together as a team.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds stupid, because obviously everybody works together. But I feel like sometimes it's just like, we just won because we answered questions.
Yeah.
They won because they answered questions and because they complemented each other so well as a team, as a trio of the two players and the manager.
Exactly.
They bounced off each other and played off each other so well that it was a delight to see,
Yeah, and those that's the thing I say all the time. Is like, there's so many.
No, I don't know what just happened.
I had like a buzz in my ear for some reason.
I feel like I blacked out for a second.
No. Like, there's something like feedback or something in my headphones. Like, well, that was weird. But there was like, I went on Let's Get Ready, and I said, and they were talking about the DragCon people coming in, and it's like there are so many unseen factors in the Schmoedown that you have to take into account, and I think the Odd Couple showed that.
Yeah,
like, it's not just answering questions. Sometimes it's vibing off each other,
synergy.
Knowing when to challenge, knowing your when your opponent's down, you need to pick them up, and that's something that Roxy did very well for her all of her players.
No one makes them tick.
Yeah, and exactly. There's just so many things you have to take into account, and it's not just sitting there and answering questions. So I think I did vote for the Odd Couple for this one. Just because that tournament run was just because they're inconsistent sometimes. Yeah, they can get in their heads, but it's just the fact that they were able to put their heads down and put their heads together and just win the tournament and then win the belts
and power through. Because I mean, we're all human. You know.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
And there was a moment during their acceptance speech where Jeff was on there for most of the time, and it's like, oh, I guess Mark's not here. And then he comes in later, and Jeff's like has this weird look on his face. I'm like, what's going on? And they're gonna do something. What? Oh no, it's just technical issues.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it's a storyline thing. What's happening?
What's going on? Are they gonna break up and then vacate the belts? What's going on?
Way.
And it's like, nope.
No.
It was just Mark having technical issues.
Yeah.
Again.
It happens.
Yeah.
We had technical issues.
The digital age. Yeah.
You know,
oh
whatever.
God. I wanted to punt our rival out the window. Jesus.
Number one thing that makes Andrew a maniac is technology not working.
It's you pay all this money for a certain item, piece of software, a phone, a computer, or whatever. I just wanted to do the thing I bought it for.
Just do your job.
I bought a router to make internet.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make internet, I get pissed immediately.
My router needs to make me internet, and that's the end of the story.
I bought my phone to make phone calls. When it doesn't make a call, I want to throw it across the room. Do the thing you were built for. Yeah. That's why I bought you.
Do your job. Jiminy Christmas.
Immediate trigger for me.
Oh, God. Good thing everything is technology and automated now.
Good thing we're trying to make this into a smart house, right?
Good thing. Anyways, match of the year. There was so many nominees for this one. My good
and this
Lord.
one was like...
This was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Call it recency bias if you'd like. I'm sure that also helped. However, it was just an insane match. Merle versus Collins.
It ticked all the boxes. Went into overtime. Back and forth. Main event at Spectacular for the title.
A rookie against the GOAT.
A rookie phenom versus the best to ever do it. You can't make this up.
No.
You can't make any of this up.
No, it was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, would I have liked to have won this category? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, some people put forth the argument. It's like, your match should win match of the year because like whoever sees a double perfect match ever.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen that happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, but it's like, no, it's just, it didn't tick many other boxes for me. So
yeah.
All
right. Well, manager of the year, Shannon Barney.
This
not a huge
surprise
because that's who I would have voted for.
If somebody was going to sneak in and win, I could have saw Roxy winning it just because of the things that we just listed off. But yeah, another no-brainer.
No, like Shannon, and I feel like a broken record because we said all this stuff last time. But Shannon just, I mean, when you go from last to first and in such a commanding fashion, you manage a championship level team. You take a rookie out of obscurity and manage him to where he is now.
Yeah, and that's why I voted for her. It's just the Adam Collins argument is pretty much why I voted for her.
It's not just him, but it's a big part.
Yeah.
So no, Shannon, she has a tall, like she said, next year it's going to be a big tall order to try to replicate what she did this year, but I'm very certain that she will try her hardest.
She's got her three top hitters that basically won her the season.
Yeah.
I hate no skin off of the rest of the people in the faction, but those are your point getters. Those are the people that won.
They did a lot of heavy lifting if we're just calling a spade a spade. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on signing day and draft day as far as corruption's concerned, because people are going to be out there for blood with Shannon because they don't want her to repeat. Singles player of the year.
No brainer.
Adam Collins.
Went undefeated to the title.
Exactly. Undefeated through the tournament, winning the tournament. Yeah. Rookie knocking out legends. Insane.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely insane.
We've said everything that had to be said about Adam Collins.
No, he's insane. Yeah. He's a prodigy. He is, I don't even know. I don't know where Shannon found him. But is there anybody else hiding out there?
There might be. We could see another Adam Collins story depending on what happens.
Yeah, now because that's everybody's like dream now. I'm going to have my Adam Collins run and I'm going to make that name for myself. I'm going to be the next Adam Collins. Like, good luck. Yeah. Because it doesn't happen too often.
All the high profile players coming in this next season that all want to have something to say, and all the returning players.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough.
He's got a target on his back, but something tells me he might be able to deal with it. Yeah. Player of the year.
This one was a surprise to me.
Yeah, because I kind of assumed Adam Collins was going to get it.
But Jeff
Snyder took it.
Yeah.
And I think,
surprise.
You can't. I
he
feel like Jeff is a very polarizing player.
Yeah.
You love him or you don't love him. And, but I think regardless of what camp you're in, as far as Jeff Snyder goes, you can't deny what he's done in the Schmoedown. So, I
think this is where people took in what he's done in past seasons and put it towards this season, which I don't totally agree with, because if it's player of the year, you got to factor in what their year was like. And he didn't have a terrible season. He had a very good season. Yeah. But I think he had a better, I don't know. But
maybe it's the fact that this year he made the history of being the three times
teams champion,
and
the first to ever do it.
It's like he did that this year, and you can't really enjoy that accolade without looking at the past. You have to. Yeah. But he did do it this year. Yeah. So that's true. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
I'm not arguing that he doesn't deserve this award.
Not at all.
He had an incredible season.
Yeah.
But I voted for Collins just because everything we just said before, one loss in all of your matches.
And you played a lot of matches.
You played a lot of matches at the latter end of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why a lot of people didn't vote for him, because he only competed in one half season. Jeff played a full and complete season.
Right.
And that complete season wasn't just all the highs. He hit some lows.
Yeah.
He hit some very low lows sometimes, but then and
that's part of the journey is coming back from those lows.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because Adam's season, where he's just kind of like up here the whole time, is just as exciting as somebody who's like got to deal with the lows. Yeah. It's again super subjective. Yeah. But I was kind of surprised. I kind of assumed Adam Collins would take it, but Jeff Snyder, well deserved. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that wraps it up.
That wraps it up. So next week we have
sign-in day.
Sign-in day.
It's sign-in day.
So we will finally get to see where all the returning competitors, where we can finally see where Dan Murrell's gonna end up. Ben Bateman, the 1 and 2. Once they fall, boom, everybody else is gonna go. We can finally get to see what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows what happens? So I've been thinking I have been thinking about what I'm gonna do. I'm close to a final decision. Because again, I'm trying to think of everything. Looking at it, I'm thinking outside the box this season.
Yeah.
Not just do I want to stay safe, or do I want to venture off into new territory?
But you also don't want to make hasty decisions.
Exactly. I'm taking as much time as I need to make this final decision, and you will find out on signing day.
Yeah. Soon enough.
So you'll find out soon enough. So I'm very interested to see where people fall.
Me too.
Yeah. Anything else that we got to talk about? I think we're good.
Don't think so.
Okay. So with that, I think we'll end this episode here. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Well, Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. If you listen to this on audio form, please follow the feed, rate us. It'd be very helpful. Thank you.
And if you're listening to us on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe, and then click the bell icon in the corner. See when we do other stuff, more stuff, all the stuff on YouTube.
I do have a video planned because when Jake Yakoveta commented about ring lights. Comments about ring lights. And I could go on for hours about ring lights.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that next. That'd be another Schmoedown adjacent sort of. Loosely, but non-Schmoedown content that will be up on this channel.
Andrew's thoughts on ring lights. Very passionate thoughts.
Yeah. Not all negative.
Mostly negative.
Well, I'll see if in the next couple of weeks I can get that video up. But thank you for joining us on this episode. What was that? Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We will see you next time.